Hi, fourth grade parents. Mrs. B here. This is our center school curriculum night, and I'm here to tell you a little bit more information about grade four. Here we go. A little bit about me. This is my fourth year teaching in Ellington, but this is my 15th year of teaching overall. Many of you know that I've taught every grade level from third all the way up to seventh, and I've taught in a lot of different states. I live in Tolland with my husband Jeremy and my daughters Lily, who's 5 and in kindergarten, and Callie, who's 1. And we just added a puppy to the mix a couple weeks ago, and her name is Avery. She's a golden retriever. I love to read, I love to travel all over, and I love spending time with my family and friends. I also love all things Broadway, Harry Potter, and Disney. So to start off, PBIS, not much has changed about this. We still have tickets and classroom celebrations. Our class is working towards earning watching the one and only Ivan because we just got finished reading that amazing book. We still have major and minor infractions. We still use second steps to teach social skills. And we still hopefully have whole school celebrations. I'm not sure how that will work this year with our COVID protocols. We still have the same center school focus areas that we've had since last year. We still use Bridges for math. Some changes from grade 3 to grade 4. The focus is more on multiplication and division rather than addition and subtraction. This current unit that we're in is more of a review unit for multiplication, minus a few concepts like factors and multiples, prime and composite. We'll go into more bigger numbers with multiplying and dividing, like double by double, triple by double for some kiddos, and we'll teach them different strategies for solving those. We also spend a good amount of time with fractions, and also we have a geometry unit. If you need any more information or need some resources, you can visit the Bridges website for families. In literacy, we still do readers and writers workshop and follow the Common Core standards. Here's a bunch of information about readers workshop. Again, not much has changed from third grade. We still do mini lessons. We still use mentor texts. We write about our reading daily. The kids will be working in partners and book clubs, and we have read aloud. We just took our first pretest about a week ago and made goals based off of it. So very similar to third grade. Our workshop units right now, we're digging into our character unit, talking about character traits and character emotions and character change. We've been talking a lot about the evidence, what you can use to figure out what a character is, like thinking about their motivations and thinking about their struggles, thinking about how they treat others, noticing what authors bring up again and again. We had a conversation earlier today about characters' names and how a lot of times authors pick certain names that mean something, and that can tell us something about a character. On our other units that we get into, we have a nonfiction unit, we have a historical fiction unit, a social studies unit on westward expansion that's covered mostly within social studies. If we have SBAC this year, we will have a test prep unit, and we end the year with interpretation, which is working with theme and making inferences and symbolism and all sorts of cool deep work with reading. Writers workshop. We started the year with a small unit reviewing small moment narrative writing. Right now we're in realistic fiction. The kids have an awesome plan for the realistic fiction stories. We just started drafting today. I'm really proud of the ideas that they came up with. We've been talking about what makes a good realistic fiction story, how we can use sensory details, figurative language, dialogue, inner thoughts to make a good realistic fiction story. Other topics are down here that we're going to cover. I know we did personal essay and persuasive essay a little bit last year on third grade, but we're really going to build upon that and work towards a 5-paragraph essay and really building upon that foundation we did in third grade to get to a more fourth grade level writing. Later in the year, we'll do literary essay, and we end the year with a journalism unit. We are still doing foundations this year. Last year in third grade, we did not finish the foundations third grade unit, the third grade curriculum. We got about halfway through, and that is because That is partly because of distance learning and partly because we were piloting this program in third grade. So we will finish the level 3 curriculum this year. Foundations, I think, is so important. I know a lot of parents are concerned about their kiddos spelling, and foundations really goes into why we spell things the way we do. It's a lot of repetition. And the kids really, just like in Bridges, how it really encourages them to play with numbers. Foundations encourages them to play with words and really think about why we spell them the way we do and the patterns in our English language. So we will continue with that this year. Social studies, we focus on exploring the regions of the US through civics, economics, history, and geography. Right now, just today, we were talking about the difference between a continent and a country and things like that. We're going to get into the 50 states and capitals and discuss the different regions of the US and what makes them different from each other. The kids really every year enjoy this unit. And by the end, they're pretty great at identifying the 50 states and capitals on a map for the most part, which I think is just a good life skill. You should know that, for example, that Colorado is closer to the West Coast and not near Connecticut here on the East Coast. Other units we have a migration unit and we have a human environment interaction unit. Science, we follow the NGSS science standards. And for those of you who have kids who have been in fourth grade before, our units have changed quite a bit as we've transitioned to these standards. The only one that we still have is energy and electricity, but these other 3 units are very different from the ones we've done before. Some announcements for my class specifically. We have specials on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And here's the rotation. Our specials are in the afternoon after lunch. We will have library on a rotating schedule once that gets going. It's been a little complicated because Mrs. Wentworth is no longer our librarian. We are sharing a librarian with Crystal Lake for now, but the kids are able to put books on hold and have them brought to the classroom for them right now. Our recess and lunch is from 10:50 to 11:45. In my classroom, I do student of the week, and every student will get the chance to do this. When your student is student of the week, a letter will be sent home the week before, and it will tell you the special thing that your student will be doing each day. On Monday, they bring in pictures and get to share about them, and we hang them in the classroom for the week. On Tuesday, they get to bring in, usually I send a bag home, but because of COVID, we're doing it a little bit differently. The kiddo can either bring a plastic bag or bring their own bag full of items that mean something to them, and they share it with the class. On Wednesday is when parents come in. They write a special letter to their son or daughter, and in a sealed envelope. Don't let them read it beforehand. And I read it to the class. On Thursday, they get to share a special book with the class. And then on Friday, we all make a special project for that kiddo to take home. I love Student of the Week. It really builds our classroom community and allows not only each child to feel special, but it also it helps the kids to learn more about themselves, more about each other. And I love the Friday activity because it makes each kiddo do something kind for every single student in their classroom eventually by the end of the day, by the end of the year. I just think that's really important for building a classroom community. We have Classroom Book of the Day. That's just a fancy name for saying that we read a picture book every single day. And by the end of the year, we've read over 100. It's really cool. We post the covers of the books on a bulletin board, and the kids like to see how many books we've read. We almost always tie them to our curriculum and dig into them. We don't just like read them. So it's really cool and the kids really enjoy it. The Seesaw newsletters, hopefully you've already been seeing them. We do them every Friday so that you are more aware of what's going on in our classroom. Mask breaks, we're doing one in the morning and one in the afternoon. We also have a mask break location in our classroom if a kiddo ever needs like a quick mask break. And then fourth grade website, if you haven't visited it, it is up and running. Unlike before when we were having issues with it, there's a lot of useful information on there that I encourage you to check out. The rest of the slideshow, I'm not going to go over just because they're not my slides, but if you need any special services, you can check out this slide. Any information about specials is in the following slides. And then there's a message from our new school psychologist at the end of the slideshow. Any questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you for listening, and thank you for letting me be your child's teacher. Good night.